Hey, Armand here again, and today I'm going to do another reaction video about artificial intelligence, and this is one you do not want to miss. Anyway, let's get into it, and I'll make my comments as we go.
2025, 2026, 2027. I've been saying this for a while now, but I believe these next 3 years will completely transform how we work. It's starting with what's happening right now in offices all across the world. What I'm about to share isn't sci-fi speculation. This isn't about some distant future. This is about the next 36 months, and it has the top AI experts both excited and terrified.
Hey, okay, here we go. Now, here's the fantastic thing about this particular video. The lady you've just been watching, she's not real. She's not Julia McCoy. She's actually her avatar. And get a close eye, and boy, this is realistic. And this is not the future, this is here and now. So let's get into it.
Hey, if we haven't met, I'm Dr. McCoy, Julia McCoy's AI clone. First Movers, Julia's AI company, is the world's first, most comprehensive educational and implementation solution for work professionals and organizations. We help people understand and use AI to their highest advantage. Join our online school and access over 40 on-demand AI training courses at firstmovers.ai/labs. Today we're talking about something that's already happening, but nobody's prepared for CUA agents taking over KVM jobs. Don't worry if those terms sound like alphabet soup. I'm going to break everything down in plain English and show you why this might be the most important workplace revolution of our lifetime.
Okay, now here's what we're going to do here. We're going to continue, and boy, what she has to say is real. It's now. I mean, she's marketing her company, of course, but that's okay. I'm not promoting her per se, but I'm using this video to show you the power of what we already have. And she's going to get into more details about it. Now, there's one thing missing from this video, and I'm going to cover that at the end. And so you want to stay tuned in because you do not want to miss this.
Paint you a picture. Sarah, an executive assistant at a Fortune 500 company, spends her days scheduling meetings, formatting PowerPoints, organizing spreadsheets, and responding to emails. Last year, these tasks took her 40 hours a week.
Sound
Today,
familiar?
an AI agent does 60% of her job. By next year, that number will be 90%. What's happening is the rise of what insiders call CUA agents, Conversational User Agents. These aren't just chatbots. These are AI systems that can literally take control of your computer. They can move your mouse, they can type on your keyboard, they can read what's on your screen and interact with any software you use. And they're getting smarter by the day. This revolution is happening because of 3 massive breakthroughs. First, language models like GPT-4 can now understand virtually any task you describe in plain English.
Yeah, this is real. For example, right now, I'm doing some research in the last week or two using ChatGPT, and it's doing research in a matter of a few minutes that it could not do 3 months ago. And the experts are saying right now that the AI, the artificial intelligence that we have right now in power, basically, is doubling every 6 months. Okay? That's realistic.
Second, we've cracked the code on computer vision. AI can now see and understand what's happening on a screen just like a human can. Third, and most crucially, we've developed reliable ways for AI to control keyboard and mouse inputs, what tech folks call KVM jobs. In other words, if your job involves sitting at a computer all day, clicking buttons, typing information, and making decisions based on what you see on screen, AI can now do that job. And not just poorly or slowly. In many cases, it can do it faster, more accurately, and 24/7 without breaks. Let me share some examples that are already happening. At one major bank, AI agents now process loan applications end to end, navigating through 6 different legacy software systems that would have required human operators before. A marketing agency has deployed agents that can build entire email campaigns, designing the templates, writing the copy, selecting the images, and scheduling the sends, all without human intervention. Customer service departments are using agents that can not only chat with customers, but actually process refunds, update shipping information, and troubleshoot technical issues by controlling the same interfaces human agents would use. What makes this different from previous waves of automation is that these systems don't require companies to rebuild their infrastructure or create special APIs. The AI simply uses the same user interfaces that humans do. Think about that for a second. Any software built for humans can now be operated by AI, no special integration required. So what does this mean for the future of work? By the end of 2025, I predict we'll see mass deployment of AI agent systems in Fortune 500 companies, with up to 40% of administrative and data entry positions either eliminated or radically transformed.
I mean, this is really, really critical. And there's one thing, how can you keep up to this? It's evolving so fast and nobody, even if you're a very expert techie, you can't keep up to it. It's evolving too fast for that. And so there is a solution, which I'm going to come to in a few moments.
By 2026, these systems will have moved beyond simple tasks to handling complex workflows that require judgment and decision-making across multiple platforms. And by 2027, we'll see the first fully autonomous departments in major corporations, where a single human manager might oversee a team of dozens of AI agents handling what used to require 50+ employees. If you work in any of these fields, you need to be preparing now for AI.
Now, the magnitude of that, that one person, one human, could actually control a few dozen AI agents, which would be equivalent to having a team of 50 people. Look at the job market and what's going to happen to that. I mean, this is critical. But you can win in this game, okay? Most people will not.
AI to take over in administrative support, data entry and processing, basic accounting and bookkeeping, entry-level customer service, scheduling and coordination, report generation and analysis, basic content production, and social media management. Now, I don't share this to frighten you, but to prepare you, because there's a massive opportunity here for those who understand what's coming. The jobs of tomorrow won't be about doing the work. They'll be about directing the work, setting strategy, providing the human touch that AI still can't replicate. The winners in this new economy won't be those who can type fastest or navigate software best. They'll be those who can effectively collaborate with and direct these AI systems.
Yeah, that's the critical part. Those people who can direct and integrate with them in the context of being able to ask the right questions and so on and so forth to get it to go do jobs and tasks and so on and so forth. And so the whole idea, the whole point is, how can you keep up to that and absorb that technology and take fully advantage of it for your life, for your business, whatever, before other people do? Because the early adapters are going to be the ones who rule and make the most money.
Team at First Movers recently spoke with a former executive assistant who now manages a team of 5 AI agents. She makes twice her previous salary, works fewer hours, and focuses on high-level strategic support for her executives rather than routine tasks. I don't miss the endless email, sorting, and calendar Tetris, she told us. Now I get to focus on the parts of my job I always found most valuable. So what should you do with this information? First, start learning about how to prompt and direct AI systems effectively. This is quickly becoming the most valuable skill in the job market. Second.
Yes, and whether it's in the job market or working for yourself, your own business, starting a business, to learn how to prompt properly. It's not difficult. Anyone can learn it. You don't even need a high school education, as long as you understand, basic English, maybe grade 10 or something like that, okay? And that's all you need. So, don't be afraid of the whole technology.
Second, identify which parts of your job are most vulnerable to automation and which require uniquely human skills, like empathy, creativity, and strategic thinking.
This is the whole thing. Creativity. And more importantly, perhaps, is adaptability, to be able to adapt to all these fast changes on the planet right now with the geopolitical problems and, of course, blend artificial intelligence into that. Okay, so how do you manage to stay on top of the game? In a few moments, I'm coming to that.
Third, consider how you might position yourself as an AI-human collaboration expert in your field. The people who can bridge this gap will be incredibly valuable.
Yeah.
The next 3 years will transform work in ways we've never seen before. The AI you're using today is the worst it will ever be. Every iteration from here will be dramatically more capable. We're not just talking about ChatGPT answering your questions. We're talking about autonomous agents that can operate entire computer systems just like humans, only faster, more accurately, and without breaks. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Are you seeing this transformation in your workplace already? How are you preparing?
Yeah, anyway, so that's it. She's now talking about, her business and so on. And hey, great on her, okay? As a matter of fact, I plan to have a talk with her in the very near future. And so here's the thing. How do you keep up to all this? Okay? Listen, here's a fact that you need to know. And if you didn't know this before, just realize that it's the truth. Okay? And I've been an advanced neurolife coach now for over half a century. It's been my thing. My simple teachings, which I've taught to kids, is blowing away neuroplasticity. And yet it's that simple. Okay? Now here's the whole thing. Is that according to scientists, according to the experts, most people are using between 3 to 5% of their mental capabilities. Think about that. I'm a bit ego-shattering, but look at the opportunity. If you're only using a maximum 5% of your mind, can you imagine if you can tap into the rest of it? That's what I do. That's what I've been doing for over half a century. And here's the thing, okay? There are basically 4 basic steps. I'll explain the first 3 here. The first step is to learn how to make what I call the movie in your mind, how to use your imagination the right way. And unfortunately, most coaches today in personal growth, mind development, life coaching, business coaching, they teach it the wrong way, and that's why it does not work for over 95% of people. That's reality. Okay? Now, the reason you want to learn how to make the movie properly, again, it's not hard. I've taught it to kids, like I said earlier, is that, you see, unless you get this part right, how to use your imagination. A lot of people say visualize, visualize. Well, visualization is a misnomer and very misleading because a lot of people are just not visual. Okay? They're just not visual. And so what happens is that you're saying visualize, and the guy says, hey, I can't visualize. Because some people are auditory, kinesthetic, and so on. And so this is the whole idea. And before I close, I want to explain to you the next 2 steps. The second step, once you learn how to do that, it's simple, like I said, from day one. As a matter of fact, you'll learn how to do that in my free masterclass. That's another story. Is that you learn how to function at the alpha brainwave levels. Okay? Now, my students experience alpha from day one. As a matter of fact, I have a free masterclass coming up. Okay, get on the waiting list for the masterclass. And in that masterclass, I will actually teach you the technique that I was just mentioning. And I will give you an actual experience of the alpha brainwave levels. Now, that's the second step. And anyone can learn to function at the alpha brainwave levels within 30 days. You begin to experience it from day one simply because you're using a training audio, but after 2 to 4 weeks, you don't need the audio anymore. Anytime you want, you can get into the alpha brainwave state. You're more creative. You can perceive things. You can connect the dots better, and so on and so forth. And the next step, of course, is learning to function at the theta brainwave levels, exponentially more powerful. Okay? Now, I'd like to share with you just a few comments from one of my students. Now, the first person that we're going to look at, her name is Cheryl, and I'll let her explain what she does and so on. And then Greg, who is asking her to tell her about herself, he's actually a neuroplastician. And all of them are blown away with these teachings, by the way. So let's have a listen. So, Cheryl, yeah, how's it going? I've been seeing a lot of the posts you've been making there and so on.
Hi,
So
everyone. It's been going good. It's definitely been going good.
Hey, Goldrin. So, yeah, Cheryl, tell everybody a bit about yourself.
Okay. Well, my name's Cheryl, and I'm a executive coach, and I'm a clinical hypnotherapist. I live in Western Canada, and I work in healthcare. So I typically coach physicians and medical leaders. And I guess I want to be able to coach high achieving women through imposter syndrome. So really getting at that subconscious reprogramming and really digging in deep on that. So I'm so excited to be here. So, thanks.
Okay. Cheryl, how did that work for you? This is the first time.
Oh, that was awesome. That was awesome. Um, I I don't have a problem with visualization, so it was interesting that the longer we went, all of a sudden the stream became almost layered back, and the ocean, I could hear the waves became louder, the stream got quieter. And then at one point, uh all of a sudden it felt like my whole brain was just energy. It was so cool. And then it was like, oh, breathe again, Cheryl. You're not breathing. So it was like just reminding myself to count on the breathing. And then it was going back and really just imagining myself being there. That was quite the experience.
Well, that gives you an example of what these people are experiencing. And like these are people highly trained in neuroscience and so on, but yet, like I said before, I've taught this to kids. It is simple. Anybody can do it. That's the basics, okay? And so this is the whole idea, to be able to tap into higher states of consciousness, and now you can make AI really, really work for you. So there are basically two ways of getting involved. First thing, I'll put the links down below here, as you can book a 30-minute consultation. It's a totally free consultation with me personally. And I would really advise you to get on the mailing list, for our free masterclass. And that's the class where I'm going to actually teach you how to make that move in your mind the right way, give you a very simple but powerful method to get it into your subconscious mind, because that's the whole idea, is to learn how to make the changes in your own mind. I don't tell you how to run your life. There's no new belief system, new religion, or anything like that. I give you tools, techniques, you use them, and then you know. So the masterclass, totally free, it lasts for roughly an hour. And in that masterclass, you will actually get an experience of the alpha brainwave levels. Okay? So you know for yourself, you don't have to believe anything I say, and if you decide to continue to advanced training, it is very, very inexpensive. And basically, you don't pay a whole pile of money up front. My students pay by the month. As you pay as you grow, and there's 30-day unconditional money back guarantee. And in thousands of students over the years, since 1972, I've only ever had one refund. Okay, that tells you the whole story right there. So connect with me for a free consultation using the link below in the description, and book yourself in for that free masterclass, because you will never look back. And on that note, I will say au revoir.